Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are going to begin our service on page 142 with singing Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei
Who will be giving some announcements from the board.
I do have announcements. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As the rabbi said, I'm Jeff Levin, and I'm representing the Board of Trustees, and I would like to welcome all of you to the temple this evening. Introduction to Judaism in Hebrew begins January 11th with Rabbi Delson. This is a great class to brush up on the basics of Judaism and begin to learn Hebrew. It's open to members and non-members, and the cost of the course is $36. To register, contact Wendy Payne. Torah Today on Saturday, January 20th, is from 9:30 to 10:30, and you can join Rabbi Delson for a very lively discussion. So please join us for Kiddush after the service in the hallway, where we'll have an opportunity to greet each other. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So we are having Torah Today on January 20th, but and more importantly, we are having Torah Today tomorrow morning, 9:30 in the lounge, and we have brand new Torah commentaries. It's called Torah, the Women's Commentary. And so everyone will have a book in front of them, so we can actually look through the text itself. And I have some other texts that we're going to be looking at. And the idea is to bring the ideas of Torah and make them relevant and make sense in our lives today. That's why it's called Torah Today. Yeah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is lovely to see all of you, those who are here as guests and those who are always here and bringing your liveliness to our community. Andy, your birthday was the week before Rosh Hashanah.
Yes.
Right? And we are just about 2 weeks before the new year, other new year.
Yes.
Are you ready for a present?
The party was enough.
The
party was amazing.
The party did some, yes, the party was a lot. But this is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Unlike that other one. And this is the talit that we got for Andy for his big birthday. And it has his name on the cover of the talit, or the bag that goes for. So, happy birthday again. Pre-New Year's.
Well, we have to,
Yes, you have to.
Gotta make sure
have to
it
use
fits.
Exactly. Exactly. Ooh.
I didn't think this was going to come for quite some time because I know this was made
It was
near
made in
Gaza.
Israel. Yes,
And
that's right.
I had heard that there was a note from the manufacturer saying, we may be a little late with this order. You think? So one of those, whenever it was time, it was time. Oh,
Oh, and a keep that goes along with it.
wow.
So we get to celebrate all the New Years, including your New Year being your birthday.
full
Oh, it's beautiful.
size,
Yeah.
full size.
Okay. Very cool. Beautiful. All right.
Never done the traditional ones before.
Well, I'll teach you. I'll tell you. We'll work on it.
It fits.
Yay, thank you. So even on this happy note, like we have been starting all of our services since the war in Gaza began, we are welcoming into our chapel this evening one of the hostages, Elad Katsir. He's 47, and he led the struggle to retrieve the bodies of Israeli soldiers who were kidnapped in Gaza, and then he himself was kidnapped. And I do just want to acknowledge the pain of the news that we got today about the mistaken identities of hostages whose lives were ended, unfortunately. So, everybody take a big deep breath. Unfortunately, this is the world in which we are living, and yet we are here to celebrate Shabbat, to take a deep breath from the rest of our week, and sing and pray together. We're going to start our service with the candle lighting on page 120. And I would like to call up Elaine and Joe Jacoby to light our candles.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Page 125. Where has this week vanished? It is lost forever. Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, and the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. Page 138 for Lecha Dodi, as we welcome in the Shabbat spirit. We will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And as is a custom of this congregation, born out of the tradition of the mystics in Sfat in Israel, where they would go out into the hills and welcome in Shabbat facing west. Facing west, they watch the sun go down. We stand and we face the doorway. So we'll do that at the very end. Page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. בעלמא יברך ידותה והמליך מלכותה. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בהגלה בהגלה ובזמן קריב והימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי המaya. יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעטר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדשה בריחו. לעילם ינקול ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו amen.
Turn now to the following page and rise for the Baruch, our call to worship.
Baruch et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
Page 149 at the top of the page. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Page 152, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. The Ve'ahavta is on 154, and this is our prayer that's a continuation of the Shema, reminding us how we can show love to God through our actions.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים ללכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So we just lit our last Hanukkah candle last night. We had the opportunity to see all 9 candles shining brightly. Some of us were at this program, Shine a Light on Anti-Semitism. Throughout the week of Hanukkah, we are supposed to enjoy ourselves. We're supposed to enjoy the light of the candles. We're supposed to celebrate by eating all these foods with oil. And our rabbis say that this is a week where we are not supposed to eulogize anyone and have formal mourning. And I mentioned last Shabbat that my mentor, rabbi, who actually was the rabbi who ordained me, died. His name was Rabbi David Ellenson. And I read one of his eulogies at his funeral because it was on Sunday. And another one of my rabbis gave this beautiful eulogy saying that the rabbis made an exception for a learned person, a Talmid Chacham, a brilliant student, that yes, you are able to eulogize that person. He goes, it was very beautiful. If anybody's interested in reading it, it was very beautiful. But it got me thinking about the fact that Judaism is very prescribed in the way that we are supposed to act and what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. And yet we're people with lots of feelings and lots of things happening in our lives all the time. And I found it interesting that they would say that we can't eulogize, we can't formally mourn somebody during this time. And, whether we knew that before right now or not, we are at this moment in our service of Mi Chamocha. And this is our celebration song. This is our song of redemption. But before we get to redemption, we are in a moment of constraint. And the word Mitzrayim means narrow place. And so I want everyone just to think for a moment of a place this week, this past week, even during our beautiful holiday of Hanukkah, where we felt a moment of constraint, a moment of conflict, a moment of not quite rightness. So I want everyone to think about something that happened this week. We have the opportunity on Shabbat to let that go. When we sing Mi Chamocha, this is our opportunity to open up this space, get us out of this place of constraint and into a place of expanse. So as we are singing Mi Chamocha tonight, let us feel that expanse, that release from constraint. Page 160, we read together in the English. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Our song for Shabbat is on page 162, Vishamru.
Vishamru, Vishamru, B'nai Yisrael, et HaShabbat, la'asot, et HaShabbat, לדורותם מרית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll turn now to page 164. Rise if you are able for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai titach ufi agita hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'himotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל את הרב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם. מקרקר חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Turn now to page 175 for Ritzay. 174. Page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Adon melech Adon
Turn now to page 371 for the Mishaberach Lecholim, the Mishaberach for healing. In our community, we are thinking and praying for the healing of Harriet Greenberg and Bruce Liebenthal. And if you would like to share a name aloud in our community, I would encourage you to do so of someone that you are thinking of in need of healing this week. We'll start on this side of the room.
Dave Saltzman, Bernice Schwartz, Sam Adler.
Josh Ezra Gensler. Hillary Noterfall.
Join together with the Mishaberach.
Source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. We'll take the next few moments for our own personal prayer.
say shalom b'miromav. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol Yisrael.
It is truly not my intention to come every week to Shabbat, lamenting the ills of the world. Between the war against Hamas in Gaza or anti-Semitism in America and beyond, these are two sides of the same coin, and they are shining brightly in my mind, and I imagine in yours too. It is almost impossible to light the menorah for the past 8 nights and not think about Israel and the challenges that our people face. In addition to last night's JCRC program called Shine a Light on Anti-Semitism, I spent a few hours this week watching the PBS documentary about Toledo's Holocaust survivors telling their stories. Taken together, these events have highlighted for me that anti-Semitism seeks to separate people of all backgrounds and ethnicities, and it harms us all, and it puts a spotlight on the Jewish community. There's a pop star who goes by the name of Pink, and she's been on the top 40 probably for the past 20 years, I would guess. We're about the same age. And she's very active on social media after always, but specifically since she had a tour this summer. And she broadcasts on Instagram only to over 10 million people. There are 10 million people who follow her account. In the past, she has posted pictures of herself braiding challah with her daughter and saying Shabbat Shalom. And this year, on the first night of Hanukkah, she posted a photo of a lit menorah in her home. Her caption read, "Happy Hanukkah to all of those who celebrate. May there be light in darkness always. May there be peace in our hearts, our homes, and the world." When I saw this post, I smiled because I appreciate her willingness to promote her Jewishness to the world. However, she received 31,949 comments on this post. The comment section should say, before you open it, "Open at your own risk. Don't click on it." But of course I did anyway. And one person wrote, "Really tone deaf in the current climate, but enjoy your holidays." She wrote back, "Tone deaf to be a Jew or alive? I'm confused." Another commenter said, "Absolutely nothing wrong with being Jewish or being alive. There is something wrong with having no empathy toward an ongoing massacre happening and not having the grace to celebrate in private while the world is in pain." She wrote back, "I am not clear on how being Jewish equates with having no empathy. I am not sure what Hanukkah has to do with anything other than Hanukkah. You are not making sense to me." Pink and other Jewish celebrities are using their massive platforms to declare their Jewishness to the world. What they are doing from behind their phones is bold and courageous when it shouldn't necessarily be. And yet right now it is. However, others are making a different choice. Within this week's Torah portion, Miketz, the entire narrative of Joseph, who's Jacob's beloved son turned power player in Egypt. Joseph is faced with his own identity. Joseph has ascended to power. His place of origin, Canaan, which will become Israel, is experiencing an ongoing famine. However, Egypt stored crops due to Joseph's business acumen and ability to translate dreams. Joseph's brothers, the same ones who sold him into slavery, end up in Egypt looking for food to take back home so that they and their families can survive, including their father, Jacob. The text continues. When Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but he acted like a stranger toward them and spoke harshly to them. He asked them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan, to procure food." For Joseph thought for though Joseph recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. Recalling the dreams that he had dreamt about them, Joseph said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the land in its nakedness." But they said to him, "No, no, my lord, truly, your servants have come to procure food. We are all the sons of the same man. We are being honest. Your servants have never been spies." And he said to them, Joseph, "No, you have come to see the land in its nakedness." And they replied, "We, your servants, were 12 brothers, sons of a certain man in the land of Canaan. The youngest, however, is now with our father, and one is no more." But Joseph said to them, "It is just as I have told you. You are spies. By this you shall be put to a test. Unless your youngest brother comes here by Pharaoh, you shall not depart from this place. Let one of you go and bring your brother, while the rest of you remain confined, that your words may be put to the test whether they are true. Else you are nothing but spies." And he confined them in the guardhouse for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph said to them, "Do this and you shall live, for I fear God. If you are being honest, let one of your brothers be held in your place of detention, while the rest of you go down and take home rations for your starving households. But you must bring me your youngest brother, that your words may be verified and that you may not die." And they did accordingly. They said to one another, "Alas, we are being punished on account of our brother because we looked on at his anguish, yet paid no heed as he pleaded with us. That is why this distress has come upon us." Then Reuben, the oldest, spoke up and said, "Did I not tell you, do no wrong to the boy? But you paid no heed. Now comes the reckoning for his blood." They did not know that Joseph understood, for there was an interpreter between him and them. He turned away from them and wept. But he came back to them and spoke. He took Shimon from among them and had him bound before their eyes. Then Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain, return each one's money to his sack, and give them provisions for the journey. And this was done for them. That was quite a bit of text, and there is a lot to unpack in these verses. We could go off of any one of them for a while. But I'll recap a little bit. So first of all, Joseph recognized his brothers, for whom he had not seen since he was 17 years old. They did not recognize him. He remained hidden from them and acted in his role of vizier. The brothers instantly turned on one another and associate the trials that they are experiencing in Egypt with how they treated Joseph all those years ago. Because Joseph could understand them, he realized how his brothers still remember how they acted so cruelly, and he wept alone. Yet again, he had another opportunity to unmask himself to his brothers, but chose not to. The narrative continues with the goal of having Benjamin, who is Joseph's biological brother from both of his parents, join them back in Egypt. And it is not until next week that Joseph actually reveals his true identity. We can ask, why was Joseph so worried about telling his brothers who he really was? One idea is that he needed to maintain the power differential out of fear that if the Egyptians really knew who he was, he could be demoted. And another idea is that he was not ready to forgive his brothers, who would have immediately started groveling at his feet because they needed something from him. I'm sure there are plenty of other responses to that question as well. But what I see it is that it comes down to fear of exposing one's true self. How many of our young people are fearful of wearing their Stars of David outside of their clothes these days? How many people feel fear when they share their Jewish identity in a new group of people out of fear of how someone else will act? Just this week, I was fearful. That was my moment of constraint. I was fearful for my own child, who is doing a second grade family heritage project. He proudly drew the Israeli flag and wrote about making latkes on his little gingerbread cutout man. My fear for him was having his name associated with an Israeli flag, even though we are a proud Jewish family in a welcoming and kind school environment. But that fear was still there. My fear may be unwarranted, but it feels very real right now. This is not a new feeling, particularly for those who have lived through anti-Semitism before, especially for people who are at the intersection of multiple identities. I can imagine that people in the LGBTQ community have felt this for a very, very, very long time. And in the past years of studying this Torah portion, we may have been frustrated with Joseph for not revealing his identity earlier. But this year, I'm reading it a little bit differently. To be sure, I am not saying that we should be fearful of our multiple identities that we hold, or should we be fearful of proudly portraying our Jewish symbols. All I'm saying is that if you are this year, you are not alone. Someone as powerful as Joseph didn't share his, and someone as powerful as Pink did share hers, and she got hate speech from it. We can pray for a time when we feel at peace with sharing our true identities with the world. May it be your will, O God, to protect those who need to be protected, to restore safety and security to the Jewish people in the land of Israel and around the world, to which we can say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to return now to our prayer books to page 586 for Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu shabach adon hakol, latek l'al yotzer breshit, shalom sanim leharazot, velo salanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shalom samichot henukav, v'galeinu k'kol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. Page 594, our meditation before the Kaddish. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. This Shabbat, we are remembering John Luce and Lyndall Perlman and Rabbi David Ellenson, who have died in the most recent 30 days. We remember those whose yahrzeits occur this week: Sarah Albert, Maxine G. Bash, Louis Ralph Bash, Shirley Bobowick, Bob Brunswick, Jean L. Cohan, Bessie Copeland, Hattie Epstein, Dr. Eve Ewa Flom, Nuna L. Friedman, Rudolph Geringer, Greg Glasser, Dr. Max Greenfield, Marion Gross, Sam Himmel, Marjorie Jacob, Dr. Julius H. Jacobson, Howard Hahn Jacobson, Seymour Canlin, Sally Heyman Katz, Herman Mainwold, Richard Metzger, James Jim Miller, Richard S. Nathanson, Rose B. Nathanson, Adil Pollack, Herbert Remmer, Wilma Billy Remstein, Carl Rona, Simon Rose, Margie Resco, Nancy Schlosser, Brenda Sugarman Logsden, Betty Silver, Babette Simon, Florence Z. Singer, Joseph B. Stein, Samuel Streichler, Thomas David Thal, John N. Wall, Jacob Zeitz, Seymour Zeitz, and Laura Zeitz. If there are others that you would wish to name aloud, I would encourage you to do so. The words to the Mourner's Kaddish are on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalal v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yatadar, v'yatalev, v'yatalal, shemei l'kudusha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen.
Amen.
May be seated. Closing song this evening is Ein Keloheinu, and it is on page
626.
626.
Me
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Please join us in the hallway for Kiddush and Motzi.